back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. If you've got a real estate question, give us a call here at the studio. That call-in number is 281-882-8088. We'll be happy to answer your question right here on the air every Sunday evening between 6 and 7 p.m. You can also tweet us your questions using hashtag HRER over on Twitter. You can join us on our social media page over on Facebook, and we answer questions there too. Our call-in number again is 281-882-8088. If you've got a real estate question, give us a call. So we are, I still have Cliff here in the studio with me. We are going to continue our conversation. A lot to talk about. A great program that we're offering here at our brokerage at Register Real Estate Advisors, and wanted to really get this program out to the public because it's such a neat program for people who can't buy a house right now for whatever reason. If you need to lease a house, it's a great program. So welcome back, Cliff.
Thank you very much. Again, glad to be here.
So recap the program again. Tell us, I know we went through the whole program kind of last segment, but just for people who are just now tuning in, recap this program that we're now offering at Register Real Estate Advisors.
Sure. It's a lease with right to purchase program. Again, it's not an option program. And the way the program works is that a prospective individual or family, we would work with us at Register Real Estate Advisors to submit the application to the investor. They're then approved, and then from there, we help them find a house that's on the market to sell at this point, not lease, that the tenant likes. Then from there, we submit that to the investor. The investor then purchases the house and then turns around and leases it back to the tenant. During the time period, it's up to a 3-year lease. It's 1 year at a time. Mm-hmm. The tenant can opt out at each of the year options. Mm-hmm. That's their only financial obligation in the process. But during that time, if they're able to fix their credit, take advantage of what the market is, and they want to purchase, they petition the investor. They know what price the house would sell for, or they can buy it for, and they buy the house from the investor.
So basically, there's a pool of investors who are purchasing homes in the Houston market, and instead of the investor going out and finding the homes, they're allowing tenants to find the home, and then the investor purchases it and leases it to the tenant.
Absolutely. This is a very large investment company. In fact, they're operating in Houston, Illinois, Colorado, multiple states here in Texas. So it is a big investor. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And again, their goal here in Houston is to buy 100 homes a month.
So we need a lot of tenants to fill these houses up for them.
Absolutely, because we are certainly not meeting that full goal at this point. Mm-hmm. We also need real estate agents to come into our brokerage and help us with the program.
Because we do have a lot of them calling. And you know, the thing about a lease is agents don't make a lot of money on leases. So right. Sometimes people will work with an agent on a lease and they have a hard time getting that agent to really help them and give them full attention. And with this, the agent's getting paid a commission on a purchase of a home. They are going to do everything that they would in a normal home purchase.
Absolutely. The agent gets paid when the investor purchases and closes the property. They get the commission split that was identified in the MLS, typically 3%.
Mm-hmm. And you know, for tenants, I mean, I can't imagine why any tenant would not want to use this program, because it's for any tenant out there, you can now pick from not only all the rental properties on the market, now you can pick from new construction homes. You can pick from any house that's out there for sale. I mean, it just opens up so many more opportunities for you as a tenant to go buy the house, go find the house that you want to buy, and now lease it until you have the ability to buy it.
Absolutely. The investor has very little restrictions on the properties that they would purchase. They're looking ideally $100,000 to $500,000. And again, their biggest criteria are the specific high schools that the property is zoned to. We have a list of those high schools. There's 60 to 70 high schools in the Houston area. Typically, those are high schools in areas where people are highly focused and wanting to buy at this point.
Wanting to move in anyway. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of tenants have children. They're looking at school districts just as much as the investor is.
Absolutely.
So that's important for anyone purchasing a home. Now, these tenants, you can't be a felon. There are some restrictions.
Right. No felony conviction on any of the applicant that would be in the house. Mm-hmm. The other big one is that no evictions. Okay, that automatically rules out, and there are just no exceptions. There's some misdemeanor situations that may have had to be 5 years that can be worked through. If you're currently in bankruptcy, then and going through the process, you would not be approved.
Okay.
But you certainly could be approved if the bankruptcy had been discharged. We've had we've had clients that have called. One situation was an individual moving from out of state. He had checked their credit several months back. He had accepted a job here. He was moving. He needed to move his family. He was down here looking. He knew a couple of months back he'd qualified for a mortgage. He found a house down here, got ready to go through a process, and discovered somebody had stolen his identity. His credit was just
a mess.
Right, just a mess. I mean, there's no hope. Well, we were able to get him approved, and the only thing that we had to do special is he had to have his attorney that was working on the bankruptcy case submit a letter.
Okay.
And so he was then approved for the program and able to move forward. We've had situations where families, again, bad things happen to good people, life crisis.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it forced them into foreclosure. They couldn't save their house, but they fixed whatever caused the foreclosure. So they're moving from the foreclosure house to another house in the same neighborhood, so it doesn't disrupt the kids. They can get their life back.
Yeah, they can stay in the same schools. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, where it wouldn't work is the program could not buy their house that was in foreclosure and then lease it back to them. There are too many laws that would impact.
Has to move to another house. Yeah, but they could at least stay in the same area.
Absolutely.
Where there may not be anything for rent in that area, now they have something to rent.
Absolutely.
If they can find a house to buy. So I'm talking today with Cliff Collins of Register Real Estate Advisors. He's a broker associate, and one of the programs that he and other agents here at the brokerage participate in is helping tenants find a home that an investor can purchase from them, and then they have that ability later on to possibly purchase the house if they can get their financing in order. I think it's a great program. Tell me about some of the experiences you've had with getting people approved for the program.
Absolutely. Well, just like I had mentioned, the individual that had his credit and identity stolen, he was down here. He started a new job. His wife was still in the other state with a small child. You can imagine the stress that he was under. Yeah. And we were able to get him approved in just a few days and to be able to move forward. We've talked about maybe somebody has been foreclosed upon. They're trying to find a place to move. They actually haven't been forced out of their house. And so we work with them, get them approved, and we move them from the foreclosure house into the new house in the same neighborhood. We've had people that are just newlyweds that don't have any down payment, and they're ready to get into an area and start the process of building their life. And they're concerned that if they go with a normal lease, the landlord at the end of 12 months could decide, hey, we're done. Right. They have to go look for a new place to live. And this, you can purchase that house. You don't have to move in the future. Absolutely. When you sign the lease, you know exactly what your lease amount is going to be for the next 3 years. You know exactly if you purchase that house at any point during that 3 years. Again, there's no obligation, no penalty not to purchase, or if you don't purchase it. But you know exactly what price you're going to be able to purchase that house for. Yeah. And so it's just it's a great program. You're relocating, right? And you don't know what area you want to be in. Well, this is an opportunity to move into a house. If you love it, great, buy it. If you don't, we can help you here at Register Real Estate Advisors find another property in a couple of years. If you're interested in learning more about the program, give us a call here at the brokerage at Register Real Estate Advisors. That number is 281-288-3500. That number again, 281-288-3500. And you can also find more information on our website at RREA.com. That's Register Real Estate Advisors, 281-288-3500. Remember, this could be a new construction home. It can be a home that is up to $500,000. And one of the things I love is helping us with our sellers, too, to give them more options for finding buyers. It opens their buyer pool up as well. So lots of great things going on here at the brokerage at Register Real Estate Advisors. If you've got a housing need, give us a call, 281-288-3500.
And we're going to be back here on Houston Real Estate Radio in just a minute after a word from our sponsors. Thank you, Cliff, for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's great to be here.
All right. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.